Hi guys, so my goal for this year is to really start getting some videos up. We're gonna really start with us trying to have a baby. So we have been struggling. I should say, I went to the doctor and we started some tests. So the first test was a blood test. And I have it right here, so I'm going to read it off of it from what we actually tested. So my doctor drew blood and she said, well, let's see where you're starting to see if there's anything that we can do before we start going on the medication route. So this was in November. And so she tested my DHEA, my estradiol, my hemoglobin A1C, my insulin, my lipids, my prolactin, my testosterone, my follicle stimulating hormone, and my anti-mullen hormone, I believe that's how you say it. And from those results, we found that everything was pretty much good, except for my blood sugar. My blood sugar was 3 points over than what she would have liked it to be. So she said, well, maybe let's see if it's your blood sugar. Let's see if we can go and find something that we can do to lower your blood sugar to see if that'll make you ovulate. So at this point, we are feeling like I'm not ovulating. I'm having a cycle, but it's not consistent. And we're believing that I'm not ovulating at all. So we're going to be looking at that. It appears to, after years of being on birth control, that my levels have really plummeted, and for me to ovulate. That being said, I was on birth control where my cycle stopped completely. And so my doctor is really in fear that it really messed with my hormone levels. So it found that I might have a hormone imbalance. So we are also going to be looking at that. So from those results, we were like, okay, so since we're not ovulating, let's try a couple of medications. The medications I will go on in another video that will probably go up right after this one, talking about the medications that I'm on, the purpose of the medications, and how they affected me. So after we started the first medication, we went back and we tested the progesterone. And this is called day 21 labs. So the first set of labs are done on day like 15, I believe, or day 10, one of those. And then you go back at day 21 to see if you did indeed ovulate, and it was found that I did not ovulate on day 21. Now, these days can differ if your cycles are longer or shorter. So my doctor did let me know that, but my cycle is pretty dead on. When I am having a consistent cycle, I am going about day 30, which is normal, about day 31, which is normal. Some women believe like you should only have like 27 days. It's not necessarily 27 days. Normal is up to 35 days. And so after that progesterone level, we decided that we were going to start a medication to make me ovulate. And the ovulation at this point, the first round did not work. So we are going to try again. Never want to discourage anyone from trying again. We are going to try multiple times before we go on into other options, and I have discussed some other options with my doctor. My next step for us would be to try the Clomid for another 2 rounds, but we are going to be trying an HSG, and that's the dye test. So this dye test, they put dye in there to make sure your tubes are open before we start moving on to IVF and things like that. So we are going to probably do that around March or April. just so that we can really see exactly what's going on if it's not only the ovulation. Please give me any questions and I can go over exactly what I'm going through. I can't really speak about what other women are going through. I can only tell you what I'm going through. But this is the beginning of my story. We're starting from the beginning. I have a great doctor. Her name is Dr. Embry. She works for Rush, so it's not far from my house. So it really works for me, especially when they're like, okay, you need to get here in the morning and do tests, but you still got to be at work. So it's not far from me. Just go in there. It usually takes about 20 minutes, and then I'm off to work, and it doesn't really bother me. So wish us luck, and please check out my medication video because that's going to be up next. Thanks.